Satan wants us to believe that he has a better plan and offers a better future for us. His whole job is to make us believe that he has a better plan and a better future. Now we get to our study for tonight, because our best example of not being distracted is Jesus. Let's look at our scripture then in Matthew. Our best example, and we can pull from this some tactics, and we can pull some lessons for this from these scriptures to use as we go through our lives. Matthew 3:17.
And lo, a voice from heaven saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased."
Okay, and now since you're such a good reader, go on and read 4, and go and read 4, 1, I guess 1, 2, 3, and then I'll see how that sounds.
Then was Jesus led up to the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, "If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread."
These few verses give us an idea that I want you to take away. The first thing we have is Jesus having gone on a fast. Jesus decided to be alone. And you know, anytime you decide to spend some time in meditation and spend some time in thinking, being alone or trying to just get some time to be away to meditate, what happens? Everything comes, doesn't it? You want to spend some time, I just want some time, be by myself. I need to think some things through. Then somebody else gonna call us with a problem, or they just want to talk, or they invite you to go somewhere that you've been wanting to go all along, but you've already set up this time to study. But what happens? Even just to study your homework, when you get ready to sit down and study your homework, everything starts happening, doesn't it? And when you even, you know what, if nothing is happening, I know what happens to me. I'll fall asleep. I line the way I study is to line everything up on the bed. Then I get in the middle of the bed. Wrong thing, wrong. Because in a few minutes I say, you know, I'm going to take 10 minutes. And I lay it down. And when I wake up again, it's 3 or 4 in the morning. So distractions, even sleep can be a distraction. But here Jesus says, I'm going to spend some time alone. And he decides to do this after a great victory. The great victory was his Father has said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." I want to tell you something about the enemies. Many times when you have a great victory in your life, when you are just so excited about what's going on in your life, if it is a fantastic happening, immediately after that, because you are on a high in what you have accomplished in your life, the devil want to do what? Bring you down. So after a victory, we have to be careful, because distractions will come when we least expect it. When we think that everything is going well, he'll shoot you something that you just never expected, to bring you down from your destiny, to take you to bring you off of what you have. You're convinced now, I'm right on purpose, I'm right on cue. You know, make 100 on. Do y'all have exams here? Huh? Yes. Do you make 100 on them? Ooh. Well, you do make some hundreds, I hope. Yes.
Sometimes.
Maybe an 80. What's an 80? How much is a B? 80 is a B?
We don't like them.
A 90 is a B? What about a C, he said? Okay. But you you do real well on the exam. 80, 100, 90. And as soon as you walk out the door, you are so happy. Somebody bump into you with some bad news, won't you? The enemy want to bring you down. Or somebody will say, they'll say something negative about what you did, just to bring you down, to keep you from going forward in what is destined to be yours. Jesus came out of affirmation of who he was. This is my beloved son, God said, in whom I am well pleased. That was affirmation. Immediately, the Bible tells us the enemy came and offered him an alternative. He said, if you be the Son of God, do what? Now, what was wrong with that? What was wrong with that? He was doing what?
Seemed to me like he was doubting that he couldn't do it.
He first said, if. That's a good point. She said, it looks like he was trying to cause Jesus to doubt. He said, if you be. So if somebody tell you, if you so good, that means that you must be a little bit bad, doesn't it? You can doubt yourself. So he presented an opportunity for Jesus to doubt who he was. If you are the Son of God. Then he dared him to do something that Jesus was not even, that was not even something he needed to do. He says, if you're the Son of God, in other words, if you are really the Son of God, you can turn these stones into bread. Now that was really significant because, why was it turning into bread significant? Because the Bible tells us what? He was what? He was what? He was fasting. So get him off purpose, huh? The other thing was, if he was fasting and now he's come off. How many of you have fasted? When you come off a fast, you're what? That's right. If you're hungry. You may be tired. You may be even weak. So he came to him at a point of not only was he hungry, but he was tired, he was weak, and he presented him the bread. Because bread was an opportunity for him to get off purpose and think he could think about food. Bread, this type of bread was not what Jesus was interested in, but the devil taking him off purpose. If you're the Son of God, turn some stones into bread. In fact, where Jesus was, and at the point that he was fasting, and at the point that the place that he had chose, actually, the stone, the Bible tells us that the stones that were there really were shaped like little loaves of bread in that valley. So it was very easy for him to get a visual picture if Jesus wanted to take it. See, sometimes the enemy wants you to get a visual picture of something God didn't intend for you to have. Take you off of destiny. Make you imagine something else that's not a part of your destiny. Does that seem clear to somebody? He'll give you a visual picture. You know, I think sometimes that happens to people when they commit crimes. They'll give them a visual picture of being rich. So instead of going to work for the money, what do? They steal. They rob a bank. Because they got a visual picture. I'm supposed to have some money. I'm supposed to be rich. And they get off destiny because the enemy tell them, well, I can show you a way to do it in a what? Quicker than you going over to Everest trying to get a degree.
An easier way.
I can show you an easier way to accomplish the very same thing. You can get money, but you can get it and you can just be on your way. The enemy gave him a visual picture of something he could have in order to bypass what God has for you. So what did Jesus say to him? This is a key that we need to remember. What was Jesus' response to him?
And cannot live on bread alone, but needs every word that God speaks.
Okay, which translation is that you have? She said by every word that God speaks. That's good. And then what's another translation says?
But he answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of God.
Okay, Jesus responded to him based on what he knew. Wonder where he got that from.